Day 2 of the hip confidence reset. I'm going to go through some mobilizations. So I had a hip replacement myself when I was 44. I'm now 61 and my hip is still going strong. So this is my artificial hip. I had a Birmingham hip replacement. So mobilizations, your hip joints moves in the sagittal plane. That's forward and back. That's the sagittal plane. So you can mobilize your hip joint going forward and back. But there's since it's a very complicated joint, there's a lot of movement in it. You also come out in the frontal plane to the side. So you can do side lunges. Very important. This is for people who've had hip replacements and for people who are in hip pain. These movements are all beneficial. So forward, back, side. And the hip joint also internally rotates. So you don't want to leave that out. So this is, if you step like this, so you see my left foot is facing straight forward and I step across it, that takes my hip joint into an internal rotation. The hip joint also externally rotates. So these are mobilizations that you can do for your hip joint. Obviously, you want to do both sides, forward and back. I got one more for you. This is a curtsy. If you've had a total hip replacement, then you probably don't want to do this, or you can't do it. But a curtsy, that's when you step across like this. So if you've had a full hip replacement, you shouldn't really cross your legs. So if you're in hip pain, you can still do this. Or if you had resurfacing, which I've had. So this is a curtsy. Good one. So you see my right foot is facing straight forward and I'm stepping across. So these are mobilizations that you can do. Day 2 of the hip confidence reset. Tomorrow, I'm going to start going through some exercises that you can do. Because mobilizations are good for mobilizing, but you also need to strengthen muscles around the hip joint. So I'm gonna go through that, and I just want to remind you, if you want to give me a call and we can look at your situation and see if my 12-week program is a good fit for me, you can always give me a call. So I'm going to see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to start doing some exercises. And remember, this is not about pushing through pain barriers. This is all about getting you to where you want to be. So if you're in pain, or if you had a hip replacement, if you're in pain, you want to strengthen. If you've had a hip replacement, perhaps more mobilizations, but you also need to strengthen to get you back to where you were before you had your osteoarthritis. So I'm going to end this video here, and I'll see you again tomorrow when we're going to talk about different ways to strengthen the hip joint. Thank you for watching.